Education is a major key to development for any nation in the modern world, as it provides several skills that help an individual to effectively participate in the process of social, economic, and political development. This is why there are several agreed goals that have been set by international organizations, including the United Nations, aimed at ensuring that young people are provided with the required education. However, young people in most developing nations, due to abject poverty, continue struggling in accessing education at all levels. Malawi is not spared from this challenge, as it is ranked as one of the developing countries by the World Bank. Statistics indicate that young people constitute a major part of the Southern African nation's entire population, estimated to be now over 17 million. And out of the 17 million Malawians, over 40% are Muslims, making Malawi the only country in the Southern African region to have a large population of Muslims. With these statistics, it is inevitable that a larger number of Muslim youths have not been spared in regard to the challenge of getting access to education by either failure to get access to education facilities or failure to pay tuition fees due to poverty. In recent years, government of Malawi, due to economic challenges, had to withdraw subsidy in secondary schools and the public universities, rendering many Malawians destitute. However, Muslims have a powerful tool that aims at eradicating poverty, and this is Zakat, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Zakat, which simply means to increase and purify wealth, is what Muslims return out of wealth to the poorest of Muslims for the sake of pleasing the Almighty Allah. Against these backgrounds, Islamic Zakat Fund (IZF) was established in 1991 with the aim of empowering Muslims through education. The organization receives funds, most of which is zakat from Muslim individuals, but also charity, with an aim of providing bursaries and scholarships to needy Muslim students at secondary and tertiary education levels. With the financial assistance from IZF, many lives of Muslim youth, including their families, have transformed. Lakibu Master is a practicing lawyer working for a private firm, Chidonte and Chidonte Company, who graduated at Zanzibar University in 2012, testifies.
First of all, let me extend my gratitude to IZF, Islamic Zakat Fund, because if it were not for this organization, then I would not be where I am today. I was sponsored by Islamic Zakat Fund, an Islamic NGO which operates here in Malawi. It was not an easy task. In fact, when I finished my Malawi school certificate for examination, I had to hear from other people that there's an organization called IZF which sponsors needy students. So I applied and I was called for interviews. After the interviews, I was one of the successful candidates, and that's when I was able to get this particular sponsorship. If it were not for IZF, then I could not pursue my studies, because I am someone whose family background could not afford to pay for my tertiary education. So I don't know what would have happened, but just looking at it on a short space, I am of the view that I would not be where I am today because I would not afford to pay school fees. So it is just my appreciations to IZF.
Adil Livanga, who works for Mama Khadija Girls Academy as head teacher, concurs with Lakib Master on how IZF has transformed his life.
It was on 30th of November 2002 when I met my colleagues and told me that Islamic Zakat Fund was offering scholarships for people with the T2 teaching certificates to go for further education in Zanzibar and Uganda. And I indeed applied and was one of the lucky people to be selected to go for further studies in Zanzibar. There is, what I can say, total transformation, because you, for sure, from being a primary school teacher to being one of the head teachers of the biggest secondary schools in Malawi, not only in Malawi, in the southern of Africa, is total transformation. For sure, I can now take care of my family without problems. Not only my family, even my close relatives, they're looking upon me to total support, which I'm very proud of. On that one, I have to say, alhamdulillah, that for sure I was trained and I'm proud to be a teacher. And as a teacher, one noble duty that I'm doing is to assist some students in advancing their education. I am a role model, not only at Mama Khadija, even in my home village, not only in my home village, but the whole of Mangochi. As you've said, that the aim of IZF is to assist in people to transform their life. I'm equally engaged in training, especially the Form 4s, coaching for their final examinations, because I'm an examiner in mathematics, which I majored when I was doing my degree. And for sure, as an examiner, I've got some other tactics that I'm assisting in so many Muslim secondary schools, so that at least we can have a more educated Muslim society.
Apart from being empowered in order to secure employment from either government or the private sector, some of these beneficiaries have established their own companies. One of them is Dr. Roderick Mulonya, who, after working as Director General for Malay Broadcasting Corporation Television, then Television Malawi, is now the Managing Director of Angaliba FM and Angaliba television station. Dr. Mulonya says IZF continues to be an important organization towards ensuring that the lives of Muslims are transformed through education.
The assistance that we got from IZF helped me personally and the family at large in educating me for the bachelor's degree. And you might be aware that it's very difficult in Malawi, especially working as a civil servant, to get access to scholarships and education per se. And I had the passion to advance my academic career, but it was very difficult to get, sponsorship and scholarship from the government. And the Islamic Zakaat Fund was the best. It came handy. And then we just applied to the government to give us leave, the study leave, which they graciously did. And you can actually say that when you are going for a 4-year degree, the policies are that you resign or you come back and work for the same government. So I used to work as a reporter with Malawi News Agency. So I would go back to school, and then from school, once I close, I come back and work in the Ministry of Information.
Apart from working in the private sector, some beneficiaries are working in government as well. Taibu Ali, who is the Deputy Director responsible for debt and aid management in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, is one of them.
Yes, let me start from my secondary education. When I was young, when I was selected to go to Ntende Secondary School, that was in 1984, I had the privilege to go to Muslim Association to ask for assistance because I knew my parents could not help. So at Muslim Association then, we had the blessing of Sheikh Saad, who were running most of the programs, and there was a program for Muslim students. So there they helped me with my fees throughout my secondary school, and they assured me that they would help me even if I go to the university. So in 1988 is when I was selected to go to Chancellor College. When I went to Chancellor College, we joined the university, hoping that the Muslim Association would still continue to help me. Unfortunately, it was the time that Sheikh Saad left the country, was deported out of the country, and the Muslim Association had no resources. And that was the time Islamic Zakaat Fund came in to help me with other brothers at that particular time. Well, as I'm saying, I'm working in government, and I'm at quite a good senior position. It has helped me a lot, not only me, but to my family at home. They are looking up at me. And here I am. I think I would not underrate what I've achieved through the Islamic Zakaat Fund, but also from Muslims as a whole, whom I owe a lot.
Having realized that there is also a need to ensure that more Muslim youths are trained in health-related fields, for the past 5 years, IZF has managed to sponsor more than 200 Muslim youths in acquiring diploma at Malai College of Health Sciences.
First of all, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making me be one of the beneficiaries of IZF. Actually, I've been at home for so long without getting this chance of education. So I went back to secondary school in 2014. Then I wrote my MCE. After getting the MCE, I had to try to find a chance of this tertiary education. But unfortunately, I had nowhere to go to get the sponsorship. Luckily enough, when I went to IZF, they assisted me, and finally I'm here at Malai College of Health Sciences. And I thank IZF for all these chances. And then I beg them to continue to educate others as they have done to myself.
Actually, the fact that I'm an IZF beneficiary, I've got a lot to thank these people. They are doing a lot, actually. So much to say, yeah. But my message that I'm to give them this time is that first I'm appreciating them for the good job that they are doing, educating students, needed students, that is, including myself. So I'm much appreciating, I'm much saying thanks to them, and also they should continue doing this for the coming also of other students to benefit as well. I'm encouraging my fellow students to work hard, because when we work hard, these people, we can only pay back these people through our hard working. These people will be happy with the results, because with the results, they will see that we are working hard, and they will also continue helping other students who are coming.
Apart from this, the organization has been offering scholarships to needy Muslim students to study similar programs abroad. This has also proved to be a timely move, as it has responded positively to the call by the Muslim community of having a great number of Muslim girls becoming nurses, hence administering maternity services to their fellow Muslim women.
I am Dr. Halima Wadi, the medical director of Mama Khadija Clinic, which is under Al Baraka Charity Trust. I acquired my higher education through IZF, Islamic Zakaat Fund scholarship. I have bachelor's degree in Bachelor of Science in Medicine and Surgery, we call it MBBS. I was among the best at my high school, and I scored good marks, which made IZF to give me scholarship to go to Sudan and study medicine. Right now, as I am working as a medical director and as a medical doctor, my life has transformed very much, and I really appreciate, because I'm like the breadwinner in the whole family. I'm the one looking after the whole family, not only my family but my relatives and also other people in the community who are in need. I also support them.
Okay, I am Shamim Hussein Omar. I am an IZF beneficiary. I learned at International University of Africa, graduated in 2013. I was doing my bachelor's degree in medicine.
Many Muslim youths have realized and continue realizing their dreams through the bursaries and scholarships offered by Islamic Zakaat Fund.
I thank Allah that it was actually the Islamic Zakaat Fund that assisted me. I could imagine that if Islam did not make it compulsory for people to pay alms to the poor, I think it was very difficult for me to reach where I am now, simply because I don't think there was anyone else who could have paid for my fees, because if people were failing to pay fees at a primary school, I don't think it could have been possible for them to pay fees at an international university like the Islamic Zakaat, the Islamic University in Uganda. IZF has assisted me very much, and I thank all those who contribute to the activities of IZF, that what they are doing actually is transforming lives, because deep in the village in Mulanje, I don't think there was any other person who could have said, okay, come here, let's do this. I don't think it was possible that way. So I'm very grateful to the Islamic Zakat Fund and all those who support the activities of the Islamic Zakat Fund, that because of what they are doing, here I am. I'm now a lawyer.
When I passed my MSCE at Budea Secondary School, I applied with ICPM, where I got my diploma. I rode bike. I have a bike diploma. Then I applied with Exploits University for mature entry. It's when I got my degree last year, 2016. At first, I didn't have much financial support from my family. The fees at Exploits was high, so my family couldn't manage to support the fees. Then I heard that there's an organization which supports students to pay for the school fees and the like. Then I applied. Alhamdulillah, they took me. They started supporting for the fees.
Currently, the organization is sponsoring 275 students abroad in different universities, as well as 500 secondary students and 200 students in local colleges.
I came here at Maon Vocation Training Center just because Maon, it is sometimes known to be the best vocation in Malawi, because most of our times we used to work in the workshop, while some other centers they use most of the time in class for theories. But we at Maon, most of the time we used to work at the workshop. That means after graduating here at Maon, we will benefit much a lot, just because of much of our times we are in a workshop. It is to encourage some other peoples outside that they should not stay outside there. They should focus much higher by doing some technical works, because this world, by just staying, we can't benefit much.
I joined my vocational training center because it offers good quality education compared to other institutions. Because here we have well-trained teachers. They teach us well, and we have good equipment. While some other schools they don't have good equipment. Yeah, I just want to thank IZF because they have trained us. They have given us education. We are going to benefit a lot.
My name is Zana Wisume. I'm a learner here in Khadija. I'm from 3. I come from Baraga, Jenga, Mtumbo village. I'm supported by IZF since my parents knew that they cannot afford to pay for me school fees. They go to Islamic Zakat office and ask for sponsorship, and they accepted. Right now, I'm sponsored by IZF.
As IZF continues assisting the needy, many needy Muslim youths continue knocking its door for the assistance that will enable them acquire secondary or tertiary education. IZF Director Muhammad Osman gives an insight of the current situation.
Right now, abroad students, we have students, male and female, studying at Zanzibar University, and that about 93 students in Zanzibar University, and also at Summit University we have 6 students that are doing education at the college. As well, we have currently 174 students doing different programs in the International University of Africa in Sudan. In addition to that, currently we have about 5 students doing different program in the Islamic University of Uganda, IU. The total of them 278 students. The students, there are different costs from country to country. Like the student who is studying in Tanzania and Zanzibar, the student is costing us 3,500 per annum because they are charging us in dollars. That's why the amount in dollars, and we send the money through the bank, Malawi bank here to the account of the university in dollars. Sudan University, because it subsidized the cost by the university itself, where the university helping us with free accommodation, free food, free medication, and that means IZF is not paying the university the tuition fees, the accommodation, and the food and the medications. That is costing us, like the continuous student is costing us $1,000 per annum in Sudan. But if there is a new students, if you want to go to Sudan, that means addition to that 1,000, we have to add the ticket, one-way ticket, which is approximately now is $500. That means the student in Sudan is costing us plus minus 1,600. Plus minus 600, because maybe the tickets sometimes shoot to $600, and plus their registration, their what you call monthly allowances, additional money for medication and other needs where the student requested. Total is costing is $1,600 per student per annum in Sudan. Addition to the student we're sending abroad, IZF is continuing because outside they cannot accommodate all the needy Muslim students abroad. So we are trying to find also to support the students who have admissions in the local universities and local colleges. And that number approximately is 300 students has been sponsored. And we hope this year, if the fund available, maybe because the number of the students increasing. And we hope, if we're estimating about 500 students to be sponsored this year, and I hope everything will go well.
As alluded to earlier, IZF depends on the zakat and charity that Muslims in the country contribute. Kasa Mokai, who is the chairman for the organization, says there is need to have more funds in order to continue meeting its obligation of empowering Muslims through education.
The NGO, popularly known as IZF, was registered in 1991, and since that time has had an active committee with full support not only of the trustees, the working committee, but the business community, mostly Limby, Blantyre and elsewhere. We have support also from Asians who have been in Malawi but are now currently abroad, mainly in the UK. Our inspiration of setting up IZF was due to the fact that we have an excellent group of people who have a great interest in community affairs and in promoting the welfare and progressing the needy. In that respect, we found that the Muslim organizations were all involved in a large number of activities instead of focusing on one or two. The committee met a few times and decided to focus on education only. And in that respect, the focus has been starting with the high level education, so that the sooner these people qualified, then they could support their respective families, their communities, and then of course they would become the future donors to IZF. The idea was to convert the charity recipients into Zakat payers. Let us take the challenges. In setting our objectives to start with higher level education, in the early years and to some extent even now, the main challenge was that we could not find students who had enough of a secondary education, had not got the proper secondary education that would enable them to qualify for university entrances. We then had to make special arrangements through one of our committee members with the universities in the neighboring countries. You can imagine our excitement and our happiness when we receive a letter from one of our students who says he was in a village, he never dreamed that he would be working in a bank. For example, we received a letter from one of our graduates who qualified in the banking sector. He was then recruited by Barclays and ended up working on debt relief in Europe, and he was certainly very appreciative. So similar acknowledgements from our graduates make us extremely happy, but also of course act as a great encouragement for future graduates. A person who has very little hope, who is coming out of poverty, you can imagine his happiness when one day he is graduate, he is either a doctor or he is an accountant at a high level. He is working for not only high salary, but you can imagine his position in society has changed completely. Instead of being one of the downtrodden, he is now one of the leaders. To our beneficiaries who have graduated, our appeal is that as soon as they are able, they start supporting the education, particularly at higher levels for their own families. Following that, any support they can give to their fellow countrymen through IZF. That would achieve our initial objectives in a tremendous way. To our donors and our potential donors who are currently supporting us to a large extent, our appeal is that they continue. We are aware that there are in Limby Blantyre alone over 30 organizations, all doing very good work. But in our case, because we are supporting education at a level that will enable them to become independent and also support the larger community, we feel our efforts will yield very good results for the long term, and we are seeing the actual results on the ground. We are happy that while we are no huge buildings and institutions and establishments to show, our donors are recognizing the graduates as they are more visible in some of the prominent positions that they are occupying. So we are appealing to our donors to support us with their continued support and increase where possible.
As Malawi continues facing the economic challenge which is rendering the majority of Malawians to be vulnerable to poverty, including Muslims, it is very imperative for Islamic Zakat Fund to continue reaching out to the needy Muslim students in order for their lives to be transformed, just as hundreds of others that have gone through the same organization for the past 2 decades. But for that to be achieved, there is need for Muslims to continue paying zakah. Please forward or deposit your zakat or general donation, lillah and sadaqah in any of the following bank accounts. Local currency Malawi Kwacha account. Account name Islamic Zakat Fund. Account number 014-00-567-97-000. Bank Standard Bank, Limbe Branch. Foreign currency account. Account name Islamic Zakat Fund. Bank name Standard Bank, Limbe Branch. Account number 024-00-567-97-000. Swift code SBI CMW MX.